Precious Cargo.
Precious Cargo.
Episode number 6 with Lora.
Yeah.
So Lora, as you probably know, since you signed up for this, Precious Cargo is a vehicle for meaningful conversations.
Yes, sir.
And getting really weird looks from strangers. So
it's working.
We're
so
off
far.
to an auspicious start.
We just went right into traffic.
Auspicious start here at Rittenhouse Square. So Laura, first question is, how do you feel right now?
I feel great. I feel like I'm on, I wouldn't say a roller coaster, but definitely some type of amusement park ride.
Would you, was this what you expected this to I guess, what were you expecting? And maybe what convinced you to sign up?
What convinced me to sign up? So I went with Isaiah on the agriculture trek, and took me to North Dakota, gave us a surprise, taking us to your family's lake house one night. So I felt like if I could trust you after that trek of 10 hours of driving in a huge van. So I figured I could trust you taking me on a bike around the street as well.
Yeah, and it's a windy day here in Philadelphia.
I know.
I think I just about lost my hat there a second ago.
Did you?
Almost. But I'm very skilled. A very skilled pilot and hat wearer.
Yes, sir.
If you do not know, Laura, when we get red lights, we have red lightning rounds. So what is your favorite Wharton professor?
Oh gosh, it's embarrassing that I have to give this one some thought. I love Nermo. I had him for Management 610, and then I was in LFTAM's class again this year.
Right on. And then favorite Wharton bathroom?
Wharton bathroom. Are there secret ones that I don't know about?
That's a good question. I'm not aware of any secret ones. I can tell you my favorite is it's the one located right below. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's like towards the G60 side.
Yeah. The
or
one
like
near the
big
water
auditorium.
Station.
There's that secret like subterranean hallway.
That's definitely mine because it's never, there's no one in it ever.
Yeah, it's completely unoccupied.
And the other side of the building always has lines in between classes. So I like that bathroom because there's a water fountain right next to it, so you can just get everything done.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And there's a vending machine on the way back.
Yeah, it's great.
I live off of Pop-Tarts secretly, and I can shame eat my Pop-Tarts where no one can see me. You know, it's perfect. You know, I've often wondered about if there are other secret spaces in Huntsman we're not aware of.
Secret spaces.
By the way, this is like a wind tunnel on 19th Street. I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to turn off here on Lombard Street.
So I live on 19th Street, so I hear that wind tunnel, this howling noises.
Yeah.
That's what my day is like today.
That's great.
Yeah.
So somehow
really...
the wind is coming from every direction right now, but
yeah.
You know, as we make our way through the mean streets of Grad Hospital here on Lombard Street, one of the questions I wanted to ask you, Laura, is if you could tell me something about either the people that you grew up with or the place you grew up that you really loved.
Yeah. So I grew up in a town called Sharon in Massachusetts. Doesn't have. Well,
is it Sharon, Massachusetts?
Sharon, Massachusetts.
Did you know that Emil Pipkin is also from Sharon, Massachusetts?
I did know that. He was not a professor of mine, but I did know that.
Gotcha.
Sharon, Massachusetts is known, it was a town, it was a colonial town. Paul Revere rode through it, says the legend. But it was a small suburban town, and I grew up with my immediate family, mom and dad, and a younger sister and younger brother, really close family. And the town had a really nice community feel. I mean, high school was about 1,100 students, which for a suburb is like not huge. So everyone in the grade was pretty close. We had 3 elementary schools, middle school, high school. So we got to know everyone pretty well, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And still feel when I run into people randomly from the town I grew up in, still have a lot to chat about, which is really nice.
That's super cool. Yeah. And then tell me more about your family.
I love my family. So I've been spending a lot of time, I'm just going to give the newsflash now, I'm getting married next weekend. So that's why I've declared myself the extra precious cargo. I'm a bride.
That should have been
bride on a ride
it's
here.
It's kind of a caveat here at the beginning of this ride. I failed to mention that this is the most precious, of precious cargo.
My bridal chariot. So my family were really close. I talked to my mom probably for 40 minutes this morning, for an hour yesterday. We just never run out of things to talk about. My sister and brother both still live in Massachusetts, as do my parents, so they see each other a bunch, but we still are always constantly in contact. My sister and I are 2.5 years apart. My brother's 5 years younger than me, so it's been fun, deepening our family connection as I think about building my family and getting married and just having them involved in the process.
That's awesome and
Yeah.
very, very timely.
It
Is
is.
there any? I know you mentioned when we were on a run once that your dad sometimes called you Lora Armstrong. I'm just
Lady
curious.
Lance. It's
Sorry, Lance. Lady Lance.
Lady
Sorry,
Lance.
had that wrong.
Yeah,
had that wrong.
So the town
Let
that I
the
grew
record
up in,
reflect.
yeah, the town that I grew up in it was a very outdoorsy town. There was big lakes, so we'd go for a lot of bike rides and hikes. And my dad's a big cyclist, and so whenever we would be riding and going up a challenging hill, he would be behind me calling me Lady Lance can push through this, and that's obviously shout out to Lance Armstrong, cyclist. So that was one of my nicknames growing up, Lady Lance.
Were there any other meaningful things you did with your family growing up that you would like to do with your own family someday?
Yeah, we celebrated holidays together. My immediate family, on my mom's side of the family, Thanksgiving was a really big holiday, so that was really special. I think holidays, no matter what the holiday is, whether it's religious or a Thanksgiving type holiday, are just a good time to sit back and reflect and enjoy each other's company. We also used to go to Cape Cod with my mom's brother and his kids, and my grandma growing up for a number of years, which was really fun. I love the summer, I love the beach.
By the way, totally random, but I need to run and grab my wallet, which fell out of my pocket while we were running just now.
Oh,
you can
man.
film this if you'd like. I'm gonna pop you up under the, actually if you wanna hop out of the bucket really quick. We can film this if you'd like, or
Where's your wallet?
It's literally on the street, right back there. It's all out of my pocket. I'm gonna be right.
Well, as Isaiah goes and gets his wallet, we're gonna see how fast he can run.
He's right here.
Got it.
Like, pop this guy
Wallet
back.
has been restored. I didn't know what that detour was all about.
Yeah, you know. Do it for the gram. You
Do
know?
it for the grant. Do it for the precious cargo.
Okay.
All right.
So
We're back live.
we're back. We're live. We're rolling. Got it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've changed your mind about in the last few years, or maybe even at Wharton? Something that's really impacted your way of thinking?
I've tried to just approach more things with an open mind, and instead of going in with assumptions and trying to change those, just having a little bit more of a blank slate, and just being open to learning and being impressionable.
Yeah.
And recognizing that it's okay to bring your perspectives and experiences, but letting some other people just let their experiences shape your own worldview. So it's something I've been actively trying to practice, and if anyone watching wants to help me with that, I'm open to it. So.
Is there anyone, I mean, you strike me, I'm just, within the Leadership Fellows program, for example, you're just surrounded by this amazing group of people who are so open and vulnerable with one another. It's been some of probably our most meaningful friendships. I'll speak for myself. I know that's the case for me. Is there anyone you've met at Wharton? It doesn't have to be a leadership fellow, so not to pry me there, but someone you particularly admire, or someone who's had a big influence on you, and that could be student or faculty.
Yeah. Do I have to say who? Yeah, I can say who. I really admire Ricky Brasco. I'll have to send this to you after, because Ricky is, he's also a veteran, and he is married with 4 children, and also managing the day-to-day stressors of being a Wharton student, being a ambitious professional, and I admire his ability to strike balance and just be able to be his full self in all of those contexts. And I think about that a lot in terms of, again, getting married. I think about my future career and professional and personal self and how those will fit together. So I admire the path that he's taken, and love talking to him about it.
Yeah, Ricky's an amazing guy. I was lucky enough to work with him a little bit at the Small Business Development Center.
Nice.
Like advising entrepreneurs. So 100%. Yeah, he's a remarkable guy. And very cute kids as well.
They're so cute.
One of the joys of life, to be sure.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part about Precious Cargo is using that bell.
Isaiah, this is our running route.
This is where we're gonna try to navigate a little fancy, little uphill.
All right. Let's see, Lady Lance, let's do it.
Yeah, I hope you're ready for this. So, if you had a billboard that you could put up to be seen by millions, Laura, what would you put on that billboard?
These are the types of questions that always stump me.
I threw you off base so that I can get some time to huff and puff up this hill.
I think, like, if billboards tend to be when you're in traffic, maybe frustrated, angry, thinking about something else. Like, No, I think it would just be blank.
Just blank.
Or maybe like a picture of something in the galaxy, something that just reminds you like just like time is fleeting. I don't know, that's my fast answer.
No, that's super interesting. I guess, I don't know if you noticed when you're on Egg Trek up in North Dakota, there's actually a fairly well-known, I don't know how to say it, like a, how's that suspension?
That was actually fine.
Yeah.
I don't know, as I've gotten older, I guess, I just think of balance as such a huge priority in my life, that success is not being able to just manage a difficult career, a demanding career, but it's being able to do that and deliver some results for some type of end user, patient, but also like have an awesome family life and be able to remember sort of the things I just talked about on my billboard, that like it's important to be driven and motivated, but also ground yourself in things that matter, that work isn't everything. Work is really important and can be super fulfilling, but it's important to find other things that are drivers of fulfillment too.
Yeah.
Which is something that is difficult to realize in business school, where it's a lot about the professional, but I think being here has helped me realize how much about the personal it is too.
Is there anything you feel like is either still on your list and something you will do at Wharton and that you hope is like kind of your most enduring contribution to Wharton or to the people that you've known here? Or is there something that's like just on the edge, that's like a little bit of a scary, you know, a scary goal, if you will, but nonetheless something that's important to you and it's kind of the top of your mind?
So we just got our 360 feedback, and I'm really trying to just, I think typically I look at feedback, I internalize it, I think about ways in which I can do better, but I'm really trying to internalize it and make, like almost on a daily basis, really reflect on the feedback I've received and opportunities that others have pointed out that I have to improve, and just like have more of a dialogue on it so that I can grow, but that I can help grow others alongside me in the process. Yeah.
So we were just at a red light. So red lightning
round.
Favorite Wharton club?
My favorite Wharton club. So I just joined hockey.
Ooh, which team?
I'm on MKP as of last night.
Oh, nice,
yeah,
nice. I might end up being team dad.
Nice, that would be awesome. We'd love to have you. So I joined hockey because I played basketball and lacrosse in high school, and I went to a hockey game last year, and I wasn't involved in any more social or fun clubs, but I went to a hockey game and I was like, I miss team sports so much.
Yeah,
so.
And it's awkward if you like start like punching people on the ice and you're not in a jersey. Totally got it. So I went to the practices and just immediately it was like brought back to my high school days, which was really fun. So I enjoyed that a lot. That's awesome.
Thanks, Isaiah.
Yeah, absolutely, my pleasure. Ooh, I have an idea for a closing question.
Okay. Clearly didn't nail that one.
You're about to get married very soon.
I am.
What have been some of the biggest takeaways from your relationship?
From my relationship, oh gosh.
Maybe what is even your engagement taught you, or what are some things you've gathered? I know, and I speak as someone who's been married for over 2 years. There's still a lot of wonderful learning and journey ahead of you, but would love to just hear maybe ways it's changed you or maybe who you are today.
So I think when you get engaged and you're talking about getting engaged, you feel like you're committed. You want to spend the rest of your lives together. And I think what has been really cool is that even in the past year and a half that we've been engaged, there's still like so much evolution in us as individuals and in our relationship. And so just being again open towards that growth. Growing together, growing as a person, like the growing and evolving never stops. And I think Elias and I are both really appreciative of that we both embrace that mentality. So that's been a lot of fun. I don't know if I had set out to achieve that or expected it, but it's been a fun surprise and part of this process, especially planning a wedding. Like there's no test to your partnership like it. So it's been fun to grow through that process.
It's a wonderful and auspicious start.
Yeah.
So, Laura, thank you so much for joining me for this precious cargo, most precious cargo
extra precious,
edition.
Yeah.
And,
bridal edition.
I look forward to the next time we can get together for a talk.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you again.